Hello, Assalamualaikum, and good day, everyone. So, for this week we are going to cover chapter 5, 6, and 7. All right, we will start with chapter 5 first. All right, so for this chapter 5, it is about the business entities and formation. So we have two things here. We have business entities registration and formation. All right, so you need to understand how to start a business, and then what type of business entities that you can register your business, and the advantage and disadvantage of each of these choice. All right, so for SME, small medium enterprise, for you want to start your business, you can start with whether you can you want to choose sole proprietorship, partnership, or private limited company. The rest is for the large company. Alright, so this is how we define the SME according to the sales turnover and the number of employees. Alright, so for sole proprietorship, you can register your name. Okay, you can use your own name, or you want to use any other names. Okay, right. For according to SME corporation, if you want to use your own name, you only have to pay for 30 ringgit for business registration, and you can actually get it within 1 hour after you pay. And if you want to use other trade name, you have to pay for 60 ringgit. All right, I will show the website later on. All right, okay, so this is the example of sole proprietorship. Previously, Kamdar also is sole proprietorship. Okay, all right, you have to register your business for you to start operating. Okay, so you have to understand, if you want to choose either sole proprietorship, partnership, or private limited company, you have to know what is the advantages and disadvantages of each of these option. For the sole proprietorship itself, because sole means you are the only owner of this company. All right, so this is easy to manage. Decision is all made by yourself. It is flexible, and you can react quickly to any changes in the market, because you don't have to ask your partner, because you are the only one who own this company, and easy to form and dissolve with minimum formalities. So however, the disadvantages of the sole proprietorship is you have limited of capital, because you are the only owner of this company, and of course the liability also is unlimited. Liability means the unlimited liability means if the business incur debts, which is the business assets, are not sufficient to cover the loss, you have to maybe sacrifice your own personal assets. And the future development also is limited and depends on your capability as an owner. All right, the second type of business formation is partnership. All right, business entity is partnership. This is owned by 2 or more partners. Okay, so you can partner with your friends, and you share everything. Okay, you share the partner, you carry out the business together, you share the capitals, you share the profit and losses. So this is the example for partnership. Usually the professional companies such as lawyer, maybe a clinic, or accountant, or architecture firm. So the advantages of partnership is this is easy to set up with few formalities. The registration, it's quite similar to sole proprietorship. It's just that for partnership you have to register with 2 or more partner. In sole proprietorship, one name only, but for partner, the name is partner, so it's 2 or more partners, and you share everything. Okay, so advantage, you share everything: ideas, skills, equity, the management. All right, so but the advantages is the liabilities are unlimited, similar to sole proprietorship. Okay, so one thing, if there's no agreement made, if one of the partners pass away or bankrupt, the business is automatically dissolved. Alright, so you have to do a letter of agreement to avoid unethical or misconduct behavior of one of the partners, right? So the another disadvantages is when the risk of personal clashes among partners, right? So for partnership agreement, okay, we have, this is the example of partnership agreement. You can also Google it, or can refer to this slide later on, okay. Alright, so we move on to the private limited company, the third type of business entities, or else you can register your company to Sendirian Berhad also. Okay, the first is sole proprietorship, second is partnership, and the third is private limited company or Sendirian Berhad. This company has a separate entity from the owner identity and the companies itself. So if you see the Sendirian Berhad in the name of the company, meaning that that company is Sendirian Berhad or private limited company. So this is the character of the private limited company. Right and responsibility. The company has a specific right and responsibility. So the name of the assets is under the company's name, and the lifetime is not dependent upon the death or resignation of its member. So the company can be dissolved when its members are no longer interested in continuing the business. In terms of liabilities, because this is private limited company, meaning to say the liability is also limited to the assets that we invest in the company, but our own personal assets are not affected. Alright, in terms of membership, at least 2 members are Malaysian nationality. Okay. Alright, so this is the term and condition. The member does not exceed 50 people. Alright, so must use Sendirian Berhad. So this is the requirement of private limited company. It's quite complicated compared to partnership and sole proprietorship, because we need to appoint a company secretary to do, alright, to to form this business, and this is all the requirement. This is not required in the two business identities, but for private limited company we need to have this, okay, MOA and so on. Alright, so the advantage of private limited company, there's a lot of advantage if you want to form a private limited company. Okay, the funds are easy to acquire through the exchange of share ownership or loan from a financial institution. Usually, the financial institution will grant loan to this private limited company, and all shareholders are legally protected by law, and the shareholder also is not necessary to be involved in the management of the company. The shareholders can appoint a board of directors to represent or as a proxy of the shareholder. Let's say I don't want to involve in the business, so I can appoint anyone to represent me to manage the company. Alright, so these advantages, this company must pay a corporate tax. The other two, no corporate tax, but income tax is still have to pay for that too. Okay, this one corporate tax, and of course income tax also. Okay. Alright, so and more rules and regulations for this company, and of course we need to appoint a qualified auditors for the company, and the cost of setting up the company also is high, okay, compared to the other two. Alright, so it's okay, we're done about business entities. We move on to the next chapter, which is the business formation. What is business formation? Alright, if you want to form a business, after we of course so 5 common methods of starting a new business is there are 5 types. If you want to start a business, we can start from scratch. We can start by buying an existing business. Number 3, if our family have a business, then we can continue that business, acquiring a franchise, for example KFC, Petronas, Shells, and so on. And then cyber entrepreneurship, this is the most cheaper or easier or accessible choice right now. Alright, so starting from scratch, like what you are going to do in your business plan, you have to set up everything from zero. But the advantage is that you are free to make your own decision in terms of what kind of business that you want to form and the location. You can also develop your own image of your own company. But the disadvantages also, we require a lot of effort, of course, because we are starting from scratch, so we require more time, more energy and money. All right, so maybe a higher chance of losses due to high project implementation costs. Okay, because this is first time, you need to buy everything, we need to rent a space and so on. Okay, so if the business has no track record, it is difficult for entrepreneur to convince the final institution. Second, buying an existing business. Alright, so actually we can start a new venture by taking over an existing business. Either we want to buy a whole business or partially share in the existing business. Alright, so advantage we have, if we have money, you can directly buy. It is faster compared to the previous one. Okay, and it's the probability of getting the financing also is greater if the existing business has a good track record. They have sales, good sales, and if they have already have the existing market and loyal customer, it will be good. And we also already have the networking. But the disadvantages when we buy a business, we have if buying existing business, we requires bigger amount capital. Okay, and of course if the existing business has a poor image, we also require a lot of effort to money and time to improve the situation. All right, and maybe the conflict between the new owner and the existing employees. All right, in terms of family business succession, okay, so the entrepreneur, this one, you know already. If you have, our family have their own business, then we just continue that business. But of course every business formation have their own challenge. Maybe this one, succession, to find the right successor, to find a competent, motivated, and the most important, getting consensus from all the family members. So emotion, rivalry from your siblings. And the advantage, you have freedom and flexibility in decision making. Maybe you pride of family culture, because and then you will put the high commitment because that is family business. So sacrifice maybe your time, money, and of course you have already have the good exposure to the business environment. But the disadvantages may be family conflict, nepotism, tradition practice, and difficulty in getting the right successor. Right, successor is pewaris lah. Number 4, acquiring a franchise. Okay, another alternative of starting a business. So we can become a franchisee. Okay, so acquiring a franchise, we have a few fees that we need to pay. Franchise fee, this is one-off payment made by franchisee to purchase the right to operate the franchise. For example, if you want to open a KFC branch or McDonald's branch, we need to pay to the franchisor. And a second, royalty, this is ongoing payment. And advertising and promotional contribution also, we need to pay. This is also ongoing payment. Okay, types of franchise system, we have 2 types, which is product or trade name franchise and business format franchise. For product or trade name franchise, this one we acquire the right to sales. This one sales right, which include the trade name, trademark, or product from the franchisor. So this is also known as dealership contract. For example, automotive, you want to sell Proton, Produa, Honda, Toyota, and so on. That is also a franchise business under the product or trade name franchise. Okay, so petrol, kiosk, service station, soft beverage, tire industries. And business format, the second type of business format franchise, this is also known as full-fledged franchise. Why full-fledged? Because we have to follow everything, the setup. Okay, everything we have to follow. So intellectual property, trade name, of course, trademark, marketing strategy, also McDonald, KFC, we have to follow everything from franchise, so including the promotion of the business. Okay, and of course the premise, setting, and layout. Wherever we go, we can see that all of the KFC layout and shop, they have similar color, setting, and the material. Okay, the advantage, of course, we have lower business risk because we share with the franchisor, and better market acceptance. They already have a good name, so that will be advantage for us, and we can sell at the lower price, of course, similar to the franchisor, because they have benefits of economies of scales, right? So you also will be guided by the franchisor. And when we talk about advantage, we also have advantages to the franchisor. Okay, disadvantage, you have limited freedom and flexibility because you have to follow the franchisor. Whatever the franchisor asks you to sell, then that's the only things that you can sell. Okay, so limited product varieties and fear of chain reaction, bad reputation, and it will tarnish the image due to if one of the franchisee doing poor, of course the whole franchisees system will be affected. Okay. Alright, so the last type of business formation is cyber entrepreneurship. This is becoming a trend in doing business online. Especially now, our government urge us to become an entrepreneur, to go digital. So this is the easiest way, and by setting up the cyber entrepreneurship, actually you also having a low operation cost, because unlike traditional, this one don't require you to open a business in a shop. Okay, all right, so this is that's all for today. All right, so I hope that you all can understand this chapter 5. Okay, thank you very much.